ladies and gentlemen, Vagran Gaming here. It's been a little while, and yeah, trying to get back into the swing of things. So just a brief update. Spent a lot of time playing Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, and the guild I was in, Republic, got really quiet, and kind of just lost motivation for a little bit. Didn't really get in the game. And then a friend of mine hit me up, said, hey, I'm trying to build up a guild. There's a spot if you want it. And I accepted. So I've been back in game pretty much for like about 48 hours or so. So just as a heads up, it looks like some of my hotkeys aren't there anymore. I used to be able to just mark healers with the tap of a button. And now that's no longer the case. So you're going to see me manually marking healers. And I don't have all the rust off yet. So what you're probably going to notice is at various points, I'm going to stop and just kind of stare at my opponent. And that's because I'm like, oh wait, shoot, what am I supposed to be doing right now? Or I'm trying to hit something that's not quite off cooldown yet. I'm not back into the swing of things of, just glancing at my UI bar every now and then. I keep my UI bar, as you can see, really lean. Like, I try to trim the fat as much as possible. I only have the stuff that I use on a regular basis. And yeah, so there's a couple of mistakes I'll wind up making, but for the most part, I think I do all right. So like, I was on the healer, and the assassin's health was getting low, and the healer put up his dodge, switched target, got rid of the assassin, and now back on the healer. And just in case you're new, when I'm playing a Watchman Sentinel, I really enjoy pressuring healers. It's, I just like laying my dots on them and then just kind of harking on them and making it difficult for them to heal their team. And every now and then, I bust out a sweet crit, like that 24k crit there. That was good stuff. So there's going to be a bit of running around, and partially why that happens is I was in voice chat with my new guildmate, Nikiko, and when Nikiko called for help, I dropped what I was doing and run over. And a couple of times I think I wound up running over, and she's got like 3 or 4 people there with her. But it's just good to get back into the habit of things. Someone called for help, drop what you're doing, get over there. So yeah, my strategy hasn't really changed much, but there was one thing I did wind up doing a little differently. What I used to try to do is get the dot spread and then hit Zen. And this time around, I think I was like, yeah, forget it, I don't care. And I wound up, not every time, but more often, I think several times I remember just hitting Zen, even if I was only fighting one person. I was just like, nah, I don't care. And I just pop it off. So she calls for help, and I come running. And at first was on the wrong side, then I shifted to this side just in case a knockback came. Because I remember a couple of times being knocked off the platform. And I kind of lost sight of that a little bit, but it's because right here I stopped to type in chat and say, hey, we've got 2 people. Because I'm pretty sure Nikiko called out in voice, but didn't type anything, so I figured, I'm going to type it out just to make sure. And I get hit with the Electronet, so I go for the equivalent of stop, drop, and roll, where I just didn't move. Now I'm taking a beating here. I'm getting a little bit of heals from my dots, not much, but I think I might just be able to squeeze out taking this guy out. Oh, that was good. So that 21k crit there, that was nice. And when I was playing the match, I don't scream a lot when I'm playing unless I'm making jokes to someone in voice. But on that particular occasion, I turned into Mr. Kool-Aid there, because I popped that crit off and I was like, ooh, yeah! So, that was fun. Then took a quick break, got the health pot, and now we're coming back. And we've pretty much got this locked down. It's 3-on-1. So, I'm going to put some dots, and then get in with the lightsaber strikes. And I think that was one of those occasions where I lost track of what I was doing. I was probably trying to hit something that was on cooldown, but fortunately, that weak hit from the Zealous Strike was all that was needed. And this is also a little bit of a wonky part. I was trying to reply to some direct messages I was getting from a former guildmate, at least for this character, and as a result, instead of taking the stairs like a sane person, I took the long way because I just hit my auto run and started typing, and then I got stuck in a tree. But we're back in, and I'm back on that dirty, stinking, filthy office. I hate it so very much. But that's either a story you've already heard a million times, or it's a story for another time. Either way. So, gonna get some dots on this Merc. Gave it the knockback, and then I just figured, hey, this Sork is free cast. Let's do something about that. Not a bad 23k crit. Nice. Popping some more damage. And I did this a couple of times with this Warzone. I know I did it early, like the opening minutes, but I was too busy rambling about something else. If there's like, and I would probably do this in the Civil War as well. I sunk to the floor. Sneaky. Anyway, if you see a Sork that obviously has their focus on the central node, and they're casting like Force Storm, I'll definitely pop an interrupt on that, because it increases the chances of us being able to cap. Because they're very likely, because the move doesn't do that much damage, they're probably trying to prevent a cap. So what I'll do sometimes is I'll just throw an interrupt on it, as opposed to saving it to interrupt a healer, which is my first impulse. Or even if, like, well, when I'm tanking, I usually try to interrupt AoEs. Although, and I've confessed this to a couple of healers, sometimes I don't. If I see someone dropping an AoE on the healer that I'm guarding, I'll just watch. And they're like, why are you doing that? I gotta get them protection points. I have done that on a couple of occasions in an ancient hybrid. Fortunately, the healer I was working with had a good sense of humor, and they did not tear my head off. And they very well could. So yeah. Now we're just kind of chasing this last guy around, and I think this is when there is another call out. And at first I was like, oh, there's help, I don't need to go over there. But then, with all the characters moving around, and me being terrible at math, I was like, oh, I can't count this. So I'm just going to rush in and help. And I interrupted that mortar volley, and I probably shouldn't have hit the force sweep there, but yeah, what are you going to do? I'm still getting the rust off. I was kind of mashing buttons, you know, between me, you, and the wall, or however that saying goes. Now this is a time where it'd be good to go for a dot spread, and there you have it. Although, it looked like that Sork may have hit his bubble, so it might not have worked. I'm not really sure. But, you know, like I always say, 5 seconds you can do it again, so don't sweat it. And that's what basically happened there. So yeah, we've got a good team. I forgot to mention my guildmates, Nikiko, Trisaber, and Wrathfire. And for this particular match, I was mostly in voice with Nikiko. So a lot of our conversations, we weren't really, well, when I'm on the node here with her, we were syncing up. I'd get distracted, or I'd see something shiny, or I'd see a chance to spread my dots, and I'd break away. But on Nikiko, would be like, psst, over here. And I'd get on target with her. So we were able to dish out a decent amount of damage. And there was a couple of times where she caught me. And I'm not sure if you guys are spotting the animations, but I remembered there was a friend of mine, and I apologize for forgetting your name. It's been a while since we've talked. There was somebody else that was giving me some suggestions for Sentinel, and they kept reminding me, you gotta use a leg slash. And I'm really glad they did that, because during this match, at various points, I specifically remember hitting leg slash. Because, you know, you want to lower the healing they have coming in. In addition, it doesn't hurt applying a slow to someone, especially if you're, as a melee, chasing someone who's ranged. It definitely doesn't hurt being able to apply a slow to them at any given point in time. So this guy's health is a bit low, and I see they're attacking the sword. It's 22k crit, and they go down. I think Nikiko then got my attention to help out. Between the two of us, we're able to finish off that other one, and we've got this pretty much under control. And something that I hadn't actually noticed during the match, I was so focused on working with Nikiko that at various points we actually lost a node for a while. I think that was right when we got it back. And I didn't even notice that we had lost it. until we got it back. So that was fun. And this is where I forget how to use stairs. Yeah, 3 tries. 3 tries, then I got stuck. So yeah, the game is very hard. But we're going to struggle through it anyway. Now, we've pretty much got the momentum on our side. And so the battle flow is pretty much in our favor. So we've got a good edge. And I'm not sure if we get a 3 cap in this round or if that has already happened. Because even then, while I've been talking, I've been trying to I can kind of focus on just like, you know, telling my stories in between doing the commentary on the match. But as I keep playing, as I get back into game, and hopefully the next couple of days I'll be back at it with the new guild. I'm hoping that all the rust will come off and everything will be a bit more concise. I'll pay more attention to the surroundings. I won't be needing to spend as much time just basically playing catch up as opposed to, hey guys, I'm back and this is where I've been. You know, completely understandable. People would be curious. So, a couple of opportunities for dot spreads, and I think I noticed that healer for help was getting a bit low, so I joined in with everybody else, and somebody got a nice shot on them to get rid of them. Good. Pop the speed buff, and now we're going to race back to mid, because I'm just assuming that there are people there, since this eastern node was clear. I get stuck yet again at the top of the stairs. One of these days I'll be able to figure out how to get through some of these basic things like stairs without getting stuck. Now, I used to also joke around with a friend of mine that doesn't really play the game anymore. There's a certain pile of rocks in Alderaan Civil War, and the two of us would always get stuck when we try to go from the west node back to mid. We'd both get stuck on the same pile of rocks. Because usually that's a spot where like, oh, I'll just tap auto run and I can type something, and it rarely worked because I don't know, it's like a magnet. I just keep running into that same sort of thing. And I was also one of the other reasons, not just because this person's a healer. When I'm on Watchman and I'm fighting an operative and they use their dodge, I've always had the hardest time trying to rework my offense so that I can keep using moves, because anything with white damage is just going to miss. And depending on their specialization, a lot of your force attacks aren't going to do too much either. So I'm still getting used to fighting them when they have their dodge up, because depending on how they work their utilities, their dodge can have a very low cooldown. It's kind of similar to how commandos, I'm pretty sure how commandos still are, not as much as how much healing they get from their shield, but they have a utility that they can take where every time they get attacked, it lowers the cooldown. So if you're an operative and you're mixing it up, as people are attacking you, pop your dodge, and then every time you get hit after that, the cooldown it just keeps getting dropped lower and lower and lower. Now, most of the time I'm a fan of just drive them and push them away, keep control of the node. But I got a little carried away here, partially because I thought, oh, like one more hit and we'll be done. Not remembering I don't have any burst. So yeah, chasing this operative, not the smartest move. Fortunately, I had help. Because one-on-one, they probably would have gotten away. But Wrathfire he's pretty good. Alright. Let's see how it goes with these stairs. I'm dreading this. Hey, Yahtzee! Got to the top without being stuck. Alright, so we're making progress. That's good. I'm gonna jump on this assassin. And again, in case you've never played Watchmen before, you basically want to line up you basically want to just apply your dots and then move in with like, I almost said Master Strike. You know what? I'm gonna call it Master Strike anyway. You know, you want to like get your dots on there first. Cauterize. You want to get your Overlord Saber when it's off cooldown. And you're basically just trying to fill time until your Merciless Strike comes off cooldown. And yeah, I think I heard a call out, so I broke away, not paying attention to the score. But then, by the time I peeked around the corner, everything was fine. So I kind of missed out on a little bit of the final moments of the action, but that's okay. Let's see how I did.
Excellent work.
Actually, any second. There we go. Alright, see? Not so bad, considering this was like my This might have been my first match back on Lokum, because I'm also trying to learn concentration, which there'll be some concentration videos coming soon as well. And I haven't forgotten, somebody asked me months ago for some Watchman tips, so that'll be on the way very soon. As always, thanks for watching, and I will hope to catch you all again very soon.